everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you popped over to see what we are up to. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I'm doing this DIY channel together with Dyanne. Of course, on this channel you will find lots and lots of seasonal decor DIYs and daily decor DIYs. Do you want to see more? Come on over to our description box. There you find all the links for our DIY channels. And of course, if you are here and you're not subscribed to our channel, of course, we hope you will click the red subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. It would help our channel a lot to grow. So enough talking, let's jump into today's DIY inspiration. And here you see the pieces what we will need. I need 3 blocks of the 4 because I am thrifted this one and these were 4 for €2 and I got €1 off because they were in sale, so they were 25 cents each. I use my tumbling tower blocks, I use my wooden ending, and this was in the set for the fall season. It's supposed to be a mushroom, but I'm not going to use it as a mushroom. So I'm going to use some paint. You can use paint at your choice. I'm going to use my wood glue, but if you have another hot glue, it's also fine too. I have my cutting tools, my markers, my brushes, my scissors, and of course the print. And you will find the prints that I use for these DIYs, of course, in our free printable in this description box, but also in my All About Christmas channel. There you also find the link for the free printables. So let's jump into our DIY. Of course, we are going to do the first step will be the painting the blocks in the black color to give it a nice undercoat. So it's very easy to wipe away the the letters. So I'm going to do all 3 of them, and I'm going to do them, of course, a little bit faster. Meantime, while our blocks are drying, we are going to get our blocks, and I'm going to do 4 blocks together. Very easy. Just do on the ending a little glue, and we're going to place this one against this, and this way we're going to do here a little glue. And for the smaller blocks, it is the same measurement. You only get your standard a little lower, a little smaller, because your blocks are not the biggest, of course. But if you do one size bigger, then it will be much too much. So it doesn't work that way. And I'm going to do on this one and on this side. And I'm going to place it very easy. Squeeze it in. And this way. And we make a nice little square. Just work a little with it, squeeze it, press it down, and we're going to let this dry in. In the meantime, while the other one is drying, I'm also going to make a second one because we want the stand under it. We want it a little bit thicker so that he falls a little bit more. Yeah, I think it looks a little bit more better if it is a little bit more, it gives a little bit more body. I hope I say it in the right way, because for a lot of you who are new here, I'm from the Netherlands, so we always have for some things a kind of little bit different words. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm always doing my best. That's you have to keep in mind that I'm doing my best to tell you step by step how I make the DIY. And this way, and we're going to let this dry also. So I let both of them a couple of minutes dry. I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to do some glue over the middle, and we are going to place both of them on top of each other. And you can choose, if you choose another direction, you can do anything you like. I'm going to keep it this way, and I'm going to place them together, squeeze them a little down. And now we already have the start of our stand, and try to get it as close as you can have it. What we're going to do now, we're going to do 4 pieces of 2. You see already I have 3 and now I have 2. I'm going to do the sides, a little glue, and glue them together. Very easy. Squeeze it, press it down. We're going to do for this one, squeeze it and press it down. For this one the same. And also with the in between of our standard, it will be the same measurement you use if you use the smaller blocks. Like I said, it is only getting a little smaller, so don't worry about it. But if you want to go bigger, you can go one block up, but I think he will be too big. So this is of course already one, and I'm going to do a second one because I want to have two high. So I'm going to place this one aside, clean up my surface. I always have an old kitchen towel which is wet, so I can, every time I clean everything up. And this is 3 and this is number 4. Of course we're going to do some glue, and we're closing it up with this one, and we're going to do here the same. And now you can work a little bit in advance because then you don't have to wait. And this one always, and the last, again squeeze it, press it down, and we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we have 8 of our blocks. The first we are going to need 4 of them. What we're going to do is place them aside. We are going to do some glue on one side, on this one, and we're going to place them together this way, and very carefully, and just squeeze them a little. We're going to do a one on this side again, and we're going to place this against this one. And if you look correctly, we're doing the same like we did with this one, but in another version. Of course, we're going to do some glue on this side, and we're going to do it on the ending of this block. So very carefully, and if you look correctly, you can place this one in and this one in, so you can close it up and you can have a nice square. Of course, we have to squeeze a little with it until we have our own little square, and this way. And if we have it correctly, we are going to let this dry in. So we did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do on the inside of the block, I'm going to do some glue. Very easy, over here. And I do it on the inside so your glue is not popping out a lot. So we are going to place this on top and make a nice square. So squeeze a little where you want to have it, which is fitting the best. And now we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to build it up. In the meantime, while this glue is drying, I'm going to make again 2 pieces of 4 a nice square like we did with this one for the top. So this is already 1. And of course, for everyone who is taking this a little bit too long, I understand. Just skip forward if you don't want to see it. Of course, I hope you don't, but I sometimes understand if you don't like to see it, how it is step by step made, then I understand that sometimes it takes a little bit too long of your time. So then go ahead. But like I said, I hope you will stay and you just enjoy what you see. And if you have any comment, of course, I hope you leave a comment down below, because I would love to hear from you. If you're also a DIYer or a creator, I am always very curious. And if you want to send a picture, we would also love that very much, to show us what you made, because we can learn so much from everyone. So we are just an amateur like the most of us are. So, but just you're enjoying showing everyone what you can make with this kind of blocks. And we're going to let this dry also. What we're going to do in the meantime, this one will be the bottom. We're going to do some glue on the top, of course, also on the inside. Try a little glue on the inside so it doesn't come out too much. And we're going to turn it over, and we're going to place it on top of here. And this way. And now we're going to look for if we have it in the way we want to have it. And this way. And we're going to give it a little bit of pressure. So now we're going to do the same like we did with the bottom. We just do some glue in the middle, over here, and we're going to lay this one again on top of here, and to make also a nice top for when the block is coming on top of here. So, and we can squeeze it and press it down and make a nice straight line, and we're going to let this dry in a couple of minutes and place it on top of here. So, and now the last step of our stand, we are going to do some glue on this lining over here, also again in the middle, and we're going to place this one, we're going to turn it over and place it on top of here and this way. And now we have our own cute little stand for our blocks, and it gives a little bit more like a unique feeling. If the glue is popping out, it doesn't matter, get your wet towel, make a little pencil in this little bit wet, and just go and wipe away the glue you don't need. It's very easy, and you don't have to remove it later before you're going to paint it. And if you're going to do it in some wax, I give advice, just sand it a little, because or else you get stains in your wax. So again, just go over it and let it dry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give mine a little bit of the sand color, and I'm going to use, you see already, a little bit of the off-white color, and I'm going to also do the knob, which I'm going to use for on top. He also gets the same color, so I'm going to give it also one coat, and I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to cut out our prints we are going to need. And our stand is drying. I'm going to get my print, and I'm going to print out the letters for all 4 sides. I'm going to print one of the letters out. So this takes a little of your time, but don't be afraid. I will do it out of camera. You see already, I just cut out all the pictures, and you see this is the Grinch. So this will be a Grinch standard with joy on top. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my block. I'm going to do some Mod Podge on here, very easy. And I'm going to place my picture. Of course, I'm going to try to stay in the block this way, and just over here. And over here, just take a little bit of your time for it. And I'm going to place my letter of my little block over here, and I'm going to place it in here, and I'm going to press it down and make sure that we have it in the middle like this. And you see already, this is already, I know you see it backwards, but in the if I film it off, you will see the right way. And I'm going to go this side, and on the back side, and on the top and the bottom we leave open. You see our letters are finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get first the letter J, and I'm going to get the knob we are going to make, and I'm going to glue it exactly in the middle with some wood glue, because the J will be on top. So I'm going to do a little of the wood glue. I try a little drop. There's more than enough. And I'm going to try to get it in the middle. Just place it. And we're going to look for that we have it in the middle. Then squeeze it down. And we're going to let this dry in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to get my stand over here. And I'm going to do some glue on the inside, because the first letter I'm going to glue at least exactly on the square, but you can change it up any way you like. You don't have to do it the way that I do, because everyone has his own home and his own imagination. Just do whatever you think is right. I'm just going to do it the way I will do it. So this is already one. I'm going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. And so I was trying a little bit how I want to have the rest of the blocks. I was trying, turning, and did all the ways I could imagine, but I didn't like it. So I am going to glue mine straight up on top of each other, but of course in this way. But you don't have to do it. This is just because I don't like it. I don't get it the way I want to have it. So I'm going to stack them on top of each other just in the straight line. but do whatever, like I always say, do whatever you think. I'm going to do a little drop of glue over here, and I'm going to glue this one exactly in the middle and this way, and I'm going to squeeze it and make sure that I let it dry in for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to do the last one. And of course later you see a quick impression. And here you see a quick impression of our Grinch joy sign, and I'm so happy how it turned out. Of course, I did the blocks this way from the Grinch, but you can change it up any way you like. So this was already a little quick impression of our Grinch joy sign. For this DIY, we need, of course, our tumbling tile blocks, some paint at your choice, some wood glue, or maybe you have other hot glue, and your glue gun, your Mod Podge. I have always my little cup with my brushes, scissors, markers and cutters. And of course we need a print, and we're going to need this. At least I'm going to use this print, and you find them, like I told you earlier, in our free printables. So these are the main pieces we need for this easy DIY. The first thing what we're going to do, of course, we are going to make the feet of our signs, and we are going to do this very easy. We are going to take 2 blocks and 2 blocks. So we're going to do the tops to each other. Very easy. And if you're using the smaller blocks, you have 3 rows of 3. So you do, this is 2, you do 1 extra, and here also 1 extra, and then glue both of them together. So again, lay it on the side, and we're going to glue this also, and we're going to place it together this way. And now we have our own easy little stand. This is already number 1. Of course, we're going to make 2 signs, so we need again 2 blocks. So very easy, 1 and number 2, and we're going to glue them together this way. And I'm going to place this aside, do some glue on the line over here, and then we already very easily have our own feet of our stand. And this is so easy to make. Now we're also going to glue the top of our sign, and of course the top will be 2 blocks just easily glued together. So very easy this way. And if you use the smaller blocks, you need of course 3 pieces. And again, for the second sign, we also make a top and this way, and we're also going to lay it beside. And what we're going to do, we only need now the middle of our sign stand. And this will be, I see already, with a marker. And we are going to do 2 rows of 6, 4, 5, 6. And here the same, 4, 5 and 6. And of course, for if you use the smaller blocks, you are doing 3 rows of 9. So very easy, 3 rows and then of 9 blocks high. Glue it together like one big plank for the smaller blocks, and you have the same. So I'm going to do, and this is 1, number 2, and very easy, do them together, 3, 4, 5, and number 6 is the closure up. Squeeze them, press them down, make a nice straight line again. And you can use this kind of sign so easy in your tier tray, because everyone is always loving the trays. I also have trays always on in my home everywhere, because it's so easy. You take it off and you already have everything gone. So I use them a lot, and these are such a cute signs for placing in your tier tray. And it gives a nice statement, and you can do any print you like. You don't have to use the prints I use. You can do anything you want. If you want to use it more for a daily decor, this is for Christmas, but you can do for any season at all. I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So I did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. I'm going to place one of the 2 pieces on the side, do some glue, lay it down again and squeeze them together very easy. And you still can work with it, so you can even fill up the open gaps. And this way, And now we already have a nice little plank. I'm going to make the second one a little faster. So all the parts are finished and I'm going to give them a coat of paint, and I chose for the sand color, but choose any color you like. I'm doing it a little bit faster. So in the meantime, while my paint is drying, I'm going to get my two little prints and I'm going to cut them out very easily. But of course, you don't have to wait for it. I will cut them out. And you see, I have here my prints and I'm going to get my Mod Podge and I'm going to Mod Podge the front of my sign this way. Very easy, and I use this Mod Podge, but you can use school glue, you can use anything you like. I'm just going to give it a coat over it, and I try not to spill out of the line because I don't want to have it on the sides, so only over here. And I'm going to place my print in the middle. Over here I have to go a little bit to the, at least I hope I have it in the middle. I think I do. So I'm going to go over it, and I try not to get Mod Podge on top of my print because I like that my print is a little bit more of the matte finish. So that's why every time I'm going to go over it with a clean finger. But of course, if you like a little bit of the shiny color, then wait a half hour and then go over with another layer of Mod Podge. I'm going to do the second one also. It's very easy. Again, just do some Mod Podge. And I think everyone already know how to Mod Podge their print. At least I think everyone will. So again, go over it and try not to spill on the sides. And I'm going to do this way, and I'm going to do the print. And again, I'm going to place it in the middle, a little bit to the right. I think I have it this way. Now I'm going to work out over here, and I am really happy how he is fitting. So I'm really happy. I'm going to let this dry in. Now are we ready to get the sign together? Of course, we are going to place it over here. What we're going to do, we have here one of the tops, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to place this over here. I'm going to get this and I'm going to do some glue, very thin line on the top over here. So a very thin line over here, and I'm going to place it in the middle of our stand, and this way I'm going to and keep it in place for a couple of seconds. So, and the last step of our easy sign is, of course, we are going to give it a stand. We're going to make again the same thin line, at least as thin as you can get, and this way, and we're going to place it straight up. Of course, I'm going to show it to you this way, and I'm going to place it exactly in the middle of the two blocks and squeeze it and press it down. And of course, I'm going to do also in a moment the second one, but I have to make sure that he stays in place. So I need a couple of seconds from you. So this is already one. We are going to do now some glue also on the second one. And I'm going to glue this on top. And this way, of course, I have to show it to you. And I'm going to place this one over here. And again in a straight line, or else you have it not in a straight line, and there's not a great side to see. So I'm going to show you in a moment the quick impression also from this one. And here you see a quick impression of our two made signs you can use for your trays. I'm so happy how both of them turned out, especially with the North Pole little reindeers and our gingerbread you can use in your kitchen. So both of them, I am really happy how they turned out. I hope you give this one a try. This was it already for this impression. And before we go further to our next DIY, I have to tell you that this video is also part of a beautiful get together which is called 5 Under 5. The get together is hosted by the beautiful Emily from Farm Charm Chick and of course Missy from Crafty Cove DIY. The guest host for this month is Ellie from DIY from House to Home. Of course I will place a link down below for the ladies, their beautiful channel, so go check it out. And of course I will place a link down below with the playlist with tons and tons of beautiful Christmas decor DIYs for you, so go check it out. You won't be sorry. And of course for now we go further to our next DIY. For this DIY we need of course our tumbling tile blocks, again some wood glue, some Mod Podge, some scissors, some markers, some cutters and of course some brushes. If you use your glue gun you need your hot glue and of course some paint at your choice and a print, and I used this print for this time again. This is 3 high, so we are going to make a stacking sign, so we will see how this will turn out. And you see already on my table is already the 3 blocks of 3. This way I just glue 3 of them together and I have 4 of them. This way is very easy. Just do one this side, one on this side and one closure up with this side. I don't know what happened, but my camera fell down on the table and you were gone. You were totally gone. So this is what I made. So this one and this one for the feet of our stand. And if you use the smaller blocks, it's also 3 blocks. And again, the same square I made over here. Of course, it will be a little bit smaller, but you are also easier to place it somewhere. But this one is a little bit bigger because I use the bigger blocks. So I wipe away the glue we don't need and I'm going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my glue and I'm going to do some glue on the inside of this block over here and just this way. And I'm going to place this one on top in the middle. Very easy. Make sure that you have it in the middle, squeeze and press a little. And we're going to let this dry in. What we're going to do now, we're also going to make a little square, but we're going to do it in a different way. We are going to do in the standing up way, so this way, squeeze it, press it. We're doing some glue on this side because we need a stand where we can place our signs on, and on this side, and we're going to do some glue on this ending and of course on the ending of this side. So you see over here, here, and of course on this side. And now we easily can squeeze it in. And we have a nice square. This way we're going to squeeze it, press it together, and we're going to make, I think, 3 or 4. And even if you use the smaller blocks, you also can use this one. And you see I made 5 of the blocks. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to roll them together until one standard. Of course, I'm going to do some glue over here and I'm going to place it down. And of course I'm going to glue this one, and I'm going to do already first on this one also a little bit of glue, and we're going to place it down and we make it together in one piece and this way. And now we also do some glue on this side one, also a little round, and we're going to place it. And of course I did it already on the wrong side, but it doesn't matter. We're going to do some glue over here. See already, crafting is always making mistakes, and just challenge yourself to do it better. And we're going to do it for this one over here, just a little round, and place it against each other. And we're going for the last one. Of course we have to turn this one over and we are going to squeeze it, and we don't need glue for this one. And we have one straight line and we're going to let this dry in. And you see, in the meantime, while this is drying, I'm going to get my print and I'm going to cut out the pieces I need. So I do that out of camera because or else it takes much too long. So I did have my prints over here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the little signs which we are going to use for under it. So I'm going to do 9 blocks. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the bigger one. And very easy, just glue them together. And number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and the last number 8, and number 9 is the closure up. And this will squeeze it, press it down and make a nice straight line. And this is already 1. Of course, we have to be sure that we have it in a straight line. We're going to wipe away the glue and we're going to get for 8 blocks, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And very easy again. And this is a number 2, a number 3, 4, 5, 6, and number 7 and 8 is the closure up again. And again, we're going to squeeze it in, press it down, and make sure that we have a nice straight line. And we're going to do the other one, and this will be 7. You see already, my pieces are over here, what we need, but before I'm going to glue it, I'm going to paint everything. I have for the tops, I have different sizes. I have an ending for this, I have this one or this one. I don't know which one I like the best. I think I'm going to go for this one. So if you find them in a store, always buy wooden pieces endings, because it's always so much fun to end your DIY on top with something like this. So if you find it, just go for it and take it with you, because it's always nice to have. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give mine a little bit of a sandy color, like this, so you can easily see how the DIY is turned out, but give it your own twist, because every home decor is different. So my paint is dried up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to Mod Podge the top of the front of my sign. So how you call it? It's just a little plank I make as a sign. So I'm going to do some Mod Podge. I try not to do it on the side, only on the front side. So very easy this way, but I think you already know how to Mod Podge your piece. So I'm just going to tell you, but you can do it the way you think it's right. I'm going for the smaller one, and I'm going to place it in the middle and make sure that I don't get Mod Podge on top of my picture, because I don't want that. So I'm going to do all 3 of them. And now we are going to take our middle piece of our stand, and before we glue everything together, I'm going to look where I want to have my little signs. Of course, you can go for this way and this way, or maybe also a little bit sideways. And this, like this. I think you can go for this, but of course you can also go for this way. And just make your own way in it, what you think it's right. You could also do this one straight. I think I like that also. This one, I think a little bit sideways, and this way. I think I'm going to glue everything this way together. So I did turn them over, and now I'm going to do a little glue on the knob, of course, without the without my knot. Of course, this doesn't work. Oh, this way, and I'm going to do some wood glue, and I'm going to place it on the top over here, and I'm going to keep it in place for a couple of minutes. And here you see already a little bit how this sign is turned out, and I am really happy with the result. The only thing we need to do, we need to glue it on the stand, but you see in a moment the quick impression. And here you see a quick impression of our three-way sign from Tumbling Tower Blocks, and I'm so happy how this one turned out and how easy was this one to make. Of course, all the signs are easy to make. Of course, we always give it a try and we see how it will turn out, and I'm really happy with the result of this one also. So of course, this was it already for this quick impression. For this DIY, we need, of course, our tumbling tower blocks. I have a piece of old plank of tumbling tower blocks because you see already I did cut out something. So this one is all very old and I'm going to make, of course, also something of it. I'm going to need some ribbon, and I have the black and the red, but choose any color. I have my glue gun, of course. I have my wood glue, my Mod Podge, my paint at my choice. I have my little bucket with some markers, cutters, scissors and some brushes. And we need, of course, a new print, and I am going to use this print for hot cocoa. So you will see that in a moment, but for now this is what we need for this DIY. We are going to start a little bit different because we are going to start with cutting our little sign. Of course, I'm going to cut it off with the thicker black line, and of course also this print you can find in the free printable, so go ahead, check it out, our description box. Of course I'm going to cut it out, but I'm going to do it a little bit faster. And you see already I am really loving the black line around it. Of course you see it backwards, don't worry, this is just my telephone. Of course I'm going to take my blocks and I'm going to place 9 blocks in a row. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and very easy. I'm just going to glue them together. And this way, of course, I should have done this one also before I forget it. And this one, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8, because number 9 is the closure up. Again, this way, make a nice straight line, squeeze it together, press it down, and make a nice straight line. And this way. And just let it dry in for a couple of minutes. And we're also going to do one of 2. So again, glue 2 together, only this way. We're going to place it together, squeeze it, press it down, and make a nice straight line again. And this is already also, and now we're going to do again 9 blocks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if everything is correct, we have the same numbers. And you see, number 2 is gluing together, and number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8, and number 9 is again the closure up. Squeeze it, and this way, and make a nice straight line again. This way, and we're going to let this dry in, like I said, for a couple of minutes. So what are we going to do? We're going to place this carefully. Of course, you see already it still is a very light that it can go out of each other, but it doesn't matter, don't worry about it, because everything glues together in a moment, so don't worry. Just do some glue on all the blocks. We're going to place it down this way, and we're going to squeeze all of them together like one plank this way. So very easy. Just make a nice straight line of all of them, and we're going to let this dry in. And what we're going to do, we're going to take 3 blocks, because we want, of course, that our sign can stand up. And you see, I think already probably what it will turn out. It will turn out like a cutting board, but a cutting board you can have its own stand. So I'm going to glue 3 blocks together this way, and we're going to let this dry in also. We are going to do some glue on the 2 blocks. We do some glue over here, and we are going to place it exactly in the middle, which is very easy to do because the line is over here. So this one is very easy to do, and now it already looks more and more like a cutting board. And this way. And for everyone who uses the smaller blocks, of course, the cutting board I made is 12 blocks, and you make 3 rows of 12, glue them together, and you already have this plank. For the handle, we are going to do 2 times 3 blocks, glue them together like one, and then glue them over here. And for the stand, I use 3 of the bigger blocks, but I would go for 4 blocks and 2 rows, and then you can place your cutting board the same like I'm going to do in a moment on the side. So this is the measurement of the smaller blocks. So before I'm going to Mod Podge my print on top, and I make a little hole over here because a cutting board always has a little hole where we can do a little piece of rope or ribbon, something you want. I'm going to paint it in the sand color, but like I always say, choose any color you like. So I'm going to go for this color. So I will do it a little bit faster. You see our paint is almost dry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my Mod Podge, and I'm going to do the top with some Mod Podge. But everyone can Mod Podge the way they want to. I'm going to try to keep it with the same like I do with all my DIYs on the top. So it is a little bit of a task because the plank is a little bit bigger than I thought it would be. It takes a little bit more of your time, so I'm sorry. I'm doing it as fast as I can. And this way, of course, I don't. So I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to glue it and try to get it in the middle of our plank. And again, work from the inside to the outside. And I'm always trying not to get Mod Podge on top of my print because I like the matte finishing. So this way, I'm going to let this dry in, and then I only need to make a little hole with some ribbon, and then this DIY is also done. And you see a quick impression in a moment. And you see, you see already, I was saying we're going to do the quick impression, but you see already, I still have my little stand under here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place this on the side, and of course I'm going to do some glue on the underside very carefully. Just do a little line of glue. So very easy, just little pieces. And I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to place it exactly in the middle. And I hope I have it in the middle this way, and I'm going to squeeze and press it down, and I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. But now you see really the quick impression. And here you see a quick impression of our tumbling tile blocks cocoa bar sign, and I'm so happy how it turned out. In a moment I show to you this one also a little bit closer, but for now, first I have to thank you all for sitting this out with me, because this was a couple of signs after each other. So I hope you pick out the one you like and make one for yourself. You can choose the colors, you can choose anything different you like, because this is just an inspiration. Do you want to see more DIYs? Come on over to our description box. There you find all the links for our DIY channels. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Enough talking. We wish you all an amazing day, and we hope to see you in our next project. Bye!